Hi everyone, Amanda here from Auckland, New Zealand. However, I'm in my usual residency in Italy at the moment. I thought today we would talk about how to choose colours for your palette, and it's something that I've avoided writing about and recording about because it's such a huge topic, and that's why everybody has the question, what colours? So today I thought I would just go through a little bit of a process of how I choose a colour, but I'm talking about specifically about a dominance today. So I'm talking about a dominant colour, a non-dominant colour and an accent colour, and the process that I would go through to do that. So the reason I'm doing this, this goes with my PaintBox Tips, tip number 97, which I think is called selecting a palette or something like that. No, I'll put a link to that in there somewhere. But the reason I wanted to discuss that was because I've been fooling around, and I often do try to have a dominance in a painting. And if think I've finished a painting and then I go back and view it afterward and think, something's not quite right, it's because of the dominance and because of the value structure. So it's one or the other or both. And so, and I'll make that happen. But anyway, back to colour. So a few days ago I painted this. The colour is a little bit off in the camera. I'm sorry, my light's a little bit wonky donkey. A little bit of gold in there. I love acrylic gold. I love it. That was my cool green painting. So because I've done a cool green paint, I'll just get that out of the way, I've decided I'm going to do a warm blue. Yeah, I don't know where the camera is, I'm looking in the wrong place. And I'm not doing any editing. I'm so sorry. This is what holds me up, is the editing process. It is so long and painful. So you get me how you get me, yeah? I'm really sorry about that. Not so beautiful at the moment. I said to a man in a cafe yesterday, he's one of the older blokes, he goes and sits in the same cafe all the time, and I went in there yesterday and I sweat, it was dripping off me, and I said to him in Italian, I can't remember, I can't remember what I said to him now, I have to edit this part out. I said to him, I'm trying to be beautiful, che disastro. And he just laughed. It's funny to have these little conversations and these little connections with people. I really like Luca. Anyway, on to colour. So I'm going to select some colours to go with warm blues and what will please me today. And for example, this will please me today, it might not please me tomorrow. I might go, oh, actually it needs that, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that. So for me, this kind of dominance thing is very much based on my mood of the time, and it's based on maybe I've seen a colour in a magazine, or when I'm walking down the street in the shops and I'm looking in the dress shops, of course, what else do you do in Italy? And so I'll see a colour and I think, that's an interesting colour. What would I put with that and I might think about it for a few days. I might not do anything with it at all, but it's kind of a fun process that I like to go through and play with. And for me, it's the playing that gets those creative juices going. And I read a post the other day and they were saying about how sophisticated colours are greys and I suppose like taupey colours and greys and whites and blacks, and I think, I don't think so. I mean, it is a lovely palette if it's a limited palette, but for me, I couldn't have that on my wall at home. That would just send me around the bend. I have to have bright colour. I'm one of those people who really struggles in winter time, and that's why I leave New Zealand and Auckland, New Zealand, because throughout winter we just rain solidly for month on end, and I don't cope with that very well at all, and that's why I seek the sun. Anyway, oh dear me. Anyway, so I disagree with that thought about those being the only kinds of sophisticated palette. I think that you could dress, for example, or paint, for example, a red painting, or wear a red dress and add a splash of orange with it. I bought a pair of orange shoes yesterday. I can't wait to wear them. They're a bit high. I think my knee will cope. I have to practice, and I have to wear flat shoes wherever I'm going, and then treat them like limousine shoes, and then put them on when I get there and be beautiful. Nobody will see them under the table. Anyway, so I disagree with this concept of only greys and browns and blacks and off-whites and things. I like colour. Can you tell? And I like bright colour lipstick, Rosetta, I think it's Rosetta, and because my own colouring is a little bit drab, and that's why I like to have a bright coloured lipstick, bright nails. But for me, I would wear red and pink and orange together, but I would have a dominance. I would have a red dress, I might have some orange earrings and an orange lipstick and pink nails. So I would definitely do that, because I think it's a very beautiful way to wear colour, and I like the way the Italian women wear colour. I saw this girl actually talking about neutral colours, neutral palette as being very beautiful. I saw a girl, in fact she wasn't a girl, she was a woman, and she was wearing this beautiful coloured, how would you describe that colour? It was like a very neutral orangey browny colour. I'll have to see if I can mix it. And trousers, and they were like a palazzo pant. Orangey, browny, tanny, but not a bright colour. It was very neutral. And then she had a shirt on, or a top on, that was striped with that same colour and a creamy white. She looked stunning. I think the secret is not too many colours. I think that's what the secret is. So today, for example, my dress is green. There's actually like a violet-y blue in the white. And I think that white earrings and white accessories, and maybe if I could get maybe a handbag that blue, I could do that. I think that would be a very beautiful way to wear. I just don't like this dress. It's a painting dress for me, because I don't like it. I love the colour, and that's why I bought it, but I bought it online, and it's okay. But you know, I might go to the grocery shop in it, but that's as far as I would step in it. So anyway, okay, colour. Let's get stuck into choosing some colours, and today it's all about warm blues for me, and I'll turn the camera around and we'll have another look. Remember, please, I just hit the 4,000 mark on my YouTube channel here. YouTube's very difficult for me because I do all of this by myself, so I really appreciate a subscription to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. It does help me in the scheme of things with YouTube. Appreciate that. Thanks. So talk to you in a minute about choosing a colour. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, back again. So today, as I said before, we're talking about choosing colour. I've been choosing yellows for something else, can't remember why. Idea's dead and gone now. To start with, I'm just going to give my palette a bit of a spritz and a bit of a clean, because a lot of the blues that I want are in my palette at the moment. Dare I'll use that, it's the disgusting one here. I'll put some DNA in it. So I don't know if you noticed before, but I had my beautiful headband on. Que disastro. Sono desperado. I made that up, I don't know if that's real or not. And I found out yesterday the word for disgusting is disgustoso. Sono disgustoso. And I'm very pleased to say that I start my private Italian lessons on Saturday. I'm a bit scared because it's a solid hour of me and the tutor, and I think I'll probably need a nana nap afterward. So yeah, it's going to be good, but it's only a few weeks until I go home. About 6 weeks, I think. Oh my gosh, it might not even be 6 weeks. Oh, gee whiz. I want to go home, but I want to stay. You know what it's like. Anyway, okay, so we're talking about blues, and specifically I'm talking about warm blues, but what I've done is I've gotten out every blue, anything close to blue, because I need a dominance, I need a non-dominance, and I need an accent. And today, I don't know what that accent is going to be. Okay, so let's have a look. Lamp black, don't need that. We'll talk about lamp black and all of those other colours later. I've got French Ultramarine, don't need yellow. I've got Winsor Blue green shade. I'll keep these, the warms there. I've got Holbein Lavender, which is, I'd say probably French Ultramarine with a little bit of dark sea violet and white. I love them. I love their colours. I've got Winsor Green, beg your pardon, Winsor Blue red shade, which is that big tube, so I'll put that in there. A little bit of a double up going on here. Yeah, they're all the red shade, I don't need those. That's the green shade, a big tube of that. Cobalt Blue, which apparently is actually more of a, because I come from a printing background, a full colour process printing background, I call that like a process blue. So it's neither neutral nor is it cool, it's smack dab in the middle. This is Indanthrene Blue, which is totally amazing. I love this colour. It's like a very, very inky blue, like the ink that we had in our fountain pens at school, yeah? So that's Indanthrene Blue. And I've also got these other odds and sods. Not sure what to do with them. Okay, but you tell you what, I haven't got my mauve in here. No, that's not it. Done. Let's have a see if I've got it. For all of those people who asked me about my system, here it is. Oh, lots of yellows here. I've put it, oh, there it is, I can see it. Not there at all. There's my mauve. You could, it's also dioxazine violet, or you could call it Winsor violet, yeah? So I'm going to have Winsor violet, which is of course a warmer colour. You can see it swings more towards the warm side of the colour wheel. I don't have a colour wheel here with me to show you, I'm sorry. I might whip down to the art store later and see if they've got one I can buy. But I mean, you can see them online, but it's, you know, to discuss it, it's a different thing. So I've also got manganese blue hue, and I've also got cobalt turquoise light. I get the names all mixed up, I apologise. I've also got Winsor green yellow shade, don't know about that. I've also got Prussian green, don't know about that. What's in here? I think these are pretty much all of the blues that I've got. What's that? Oh, oh, it's cobalt blue. Nothing else in here. This is cobalt green turquoise. So effectively, it's a dark version of that one. Okay, looks like I've got them all. Sweet, I might need some white because we might have a little bit of a play. Okay, all right, so pretty much these are all in my palette. Possibly not manganese. I buy manganese, I've got a lot of tubes of it and I love it, but it's a little bit gutless. And gee whiz, you know what I mean, yeah, it's a bit sad. It doesn't come out to play very often, but I'll show you why shortly. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to put those aside. Now these colours, except for that one, these are all in my palette. So I've just got this 1 inch. So effectively what I'm just going to do is just tab out some colours and see what I feel like today. So starting at the top here, this is Winsor Blue green shade. And this is not watercolour paper, you can probably see it's just drawing paper, smooth, probably a clay coated paper. They don't say that, but coming from the print background, that's what I think it is, but I don't truthfully know. Winsor Blue green shade, Winsor Blue red shade. Let's try that. Oh, they're beautiful colours. How can you go past them? They're gorgeous and they're very inky. Absolutely stunning colours. Whoopsie, come closer machine. Okay, right. This is Cobalt Blue. Love this colour. And I'll tell you what, you put a little splash of this like impasto next to its complementary colour if you're using it through your painting. It is just a stunning colour used in that way. It's not a particularly dark colour. It doesn't have a very strong mass tone. You can see in my palette, see if I can lift it up to show you. I don't know if it will focus itself. So here's the dark blues, the dark Winsors, and here is Cobalt Blue. And look how much lighter it looks in my palette than these colours, yeah? This is the mass tone, what it looks like straight out of the tube. And it just really doesn't have any tinting strength. I haven't put fresh paint in my palette today, just simply because I'm just fooling around. And you can see I've got quite a bit of colour in my palette, so it's enough to do the job for today. Enough for me to get my little juices going. Okay, and this is French Ultramarine, which is kind of in the same family, but a much stronger mass tone. So, which means that it's got really good, strong mixing qualities. I'm struggling to dig some out because it is a bit dry. Pop a little bit. I sort of went away from using oopsie, French Ultra for a long time, but I've kind of swung back to it again. That's better. Beautiful, dark, rich colour. Okay, right, next is oh, what have I got here? I think that is, oh, Indigo. I know a lot of people like Indigo, and you use Indigo if you like it. I don't like it, yeah? I liked it for about 10 minutes, so I bought a big tube of it, and now I don't like it. The reason I don't like it, it has got a lot of, have I brought that tube with me? I'm pretty sure that it has a lot of black in it, therefore, I don't know if I've got that colour with me. Here it is. It's not a colour that I use a lot of. You can see that because I haven't got it with me. It's got a lot of black in it, and I think it dries very dull, and I think it's because of all the soot from the blacks, because it comes from a kiln-fired process here, and that's fine, you know, we might need it, but I can mix that. I can mix a neutral, deep grey blue. I find that these darker colours, they dry, how can I describe it? They do, for me, they just dry dull. I don't like it. Yeah, simple. This is the Indanthrene. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Beautiful colour. So you can see, actually, value scale, the Indanthrene is substantially darker than, well, not substantially, but quite a bit darker, yeah? So I'm having a dig at it. It's quite soft in my palette. It's a very beautiful colour. And so, just get rid of that. So, for example, these cool blues, beg your pardon, they're not what I'm into just at the moment. I just really want the warms, so I think that's where I'm headed for this particular painting. This is Winsor Violet. Beg your pardon, this is actually Schmincke Mauve, which is the same pigment as Winsor Violet or Dioxazine Violet from other brands, or might even be Mauve in other brands as well, I don't know. I tend to buy Winsor Newton, the professional grade. You can see I don't have any student paint. I'm a professional painter. I need good paint, yeah, and because I go through a ton of it, yeah. I tend to buy Winsor Newton or Schmincke colours, and what's the reason for that? Well, when I first started painting watercolour, all I could get was Winsor Newton, and I started out with Cotman colours, but I quickly came to understand the weaknesses of the student paints years ago, and let me clear this up. The student paints were a lot better back then, and if I could see the weaknesses of those colours back then, they're quite different now, and I really cringe when a student says to me, "Oh, can you help me mix this colour?" and they've got student paints, because they're that much harder to work with. So anyway, so this is Schmincke Mauve, yeah? So this is what I'm thinking about, these warm colours. So I'm thinking about my warm colours as my dominants, and maybe my mauve as a non-dominant colour, and just as a foil, let's just have a little bit of a play with, I'm just going to put them in here for the second. So this is Cobalt Turquoise Light. I never remember the name of this. And this is, I don't think it's on my palette. No, it's not. This is Manganese Blue, which is a totally gorgeous colour. It is a little bit oily and sludgy, so I do tend to go through it when I use it, and they're beautiful together. Look at them, they're just totally amazing. But I think as a foil, I mean, maybe I could have a little bit of a dram of that. It's, once they're on a painting, they're a little bit hard to tell one from another. But you can see that it's very, very transparent, even though they say it's semi-transparent or semi-opaque, whichever. I think it's quite transparent, because look at it. Compared with the Cobalt colours, or this particular Cobalt, because, can I do it with how many hands I've got? So it's just the lack of guts with the Manganese Blue, and that's why it doesn't really ever come out to play very much, I'm sad to say. So I've also got Lavender, and I am going to put a little bit of lavender in my palette. So it's quite a, it's an opaque colour because it has white mixed into it. Can you see that in the thingy? Yes, you can. So you can see it's quite a warm, there it is there, and you can see it's quite opaque, yeah, because it's got a lot of white in it. I love it. I think that's a little bit of me, yeah. I think the palette is coming together nicely. And the only reason that the manganese won't come out to play this time is because it doesn't have enough guts to do what I think I want it to do. This is what I'm going to do with the Cobalt. Yeah, it's going to be my accent colour. Let's see what this brush is like spatting. Ooh, look at that. Yum! No wonder I make a mess everywhere. Okay. Okay, but do I need a warm colour? This is raw sea's got a little bit of green in it. I wonder how that got there. No, because it's too earthy for my concept. Okay, I'm going to have to think about whether I... Ooh, pink. Ooh, pink. Okay, hold on a second, because I've got all these beautiful Holbein pinks. Two tubes of that, I don't know why. But I think this could be a good concept, a good idea, because these colours are pretty much all transparent or have some transparency about them, apart from the lavender. But cool pink. Okay, I think I'm just going to have a play with all of them and see what happens here. So this is something very pretty. Oh, I don't want to get it mixed up with the green. Needs a little bit more guts. Interesting. It barely looks pink, and that might be the right thing to do. Yeah, no judgments yet. I won't judge you yet. Number WO26, which is called short arm syndrome. Shell pink, WO26. This is WO25 brilliant pink. Let's have a play. Oh, can't open that. Where's my little handy dandy gadget? There we go. Okay, let's play with that. Oh, pretty. Oh. Oh, it's just a little bit brighter, yeah? Oh, okay. This one's in. And can't remember the name of that, and I can hardly read it. Shell pink is out, yeah? But so far, brilliant pink is in. So I've also got lilac, which is W117, but I've also got cobalt violet, and I love cobalt violet, but because it's quite a transparent colour, there it is there, I don't know if you can see that, but you can look on your own labels for your own colours. Cobalt violet, again, no tinting strength, it's very beautiful. It's one of those colours I think you've really got to be particular with if you're doing underpaintings, that you have this colour, cobalt violet, in your underpainting where you want it, and you paint over it with cobalt violet, yeah? It's if you want this colour to be front and centre, or at least obvious what it is, yeah, you've got to layer it, because how I first came to love, well, I've loved this colour for a long time, but I have a friend who paints landscapes, and she uses this, she paints in oils, and of course this colour is opaque in oils, or you know, you can make it opaque or whatever she does. I don't know how she mixes it, whether she has a tube of it, must ask her. But in watercolour, it's very transparent, so you've really got to make sure you glaze it and layer it up with, you know, layer upon maybe 2 or 3 layers, whatever, to make sure the colour is standing out. So it's very beautiful, but in this situation, I'll tab it out so you can see it. Oh, I've got it in my palette. There it is. So pretty. That's why, because I love it so much. So every time I do that, I think, oh wow, you know, got to use that colour. And this is, oh jeepers, is that colour? Oh, picked up the wrong tube, beg your pardon. Squeezy, it came out, so I put it in. Okay, so this is Holbein Lilac W117. And it's a little bit nasty looking because I think the gum arabic comes out of it a little bit. But I kind of use it with Cobalt Violet, because Cobalt Violet's a really expensive colour. It's a series 4. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's a series 4 colour, very expensive. So I use the Holbein colour. I don't want to mix it with white, but I'm happy to use the Holbein colour. You know what? I think that's the one, because look at it. It's just got a little bit more guts. I think that pink with the cool greens would be really great. Warm pink, cool greens, cool pink with warm blues. Yeah. Okay, where did I put it? That one there, not that one, and not that one. It's too expensive, and I will keep it out. Okay, for now, not that one. Okay, right. So I think my colours are done.